Hi, everybody. I'm Chicago's very own Mel Doerr, Aloha Short Psychic, and I've got Linda G in the house.
How are
The,
you guys doing?
the beautiful Linda G.
Thank you.
That top looks so good on you.
Thank you. Is this whole thing?
I want to borrow it.
It's just a little top I picked up somewhere.
Well, girlfriend, you better go pick up another one because it looks good on you.
Okay, thank you.
I like your hair too.
Oh yeah, I was telling everybody, you probably haven't seen any of my shows. I had what they call keratin treatment on my hair. It was $300, but you can't wash it for like 2 days. So my hair was stiff, even stiffer than this. And then finally I got to wash it yesterday. I was so thrilled. But it still comes out like this. It's still, and it'll get a little better. So every 6 months, if I do this, I won't have that frizzy, it'll look like this.
It looks great.
Thanks. A lot of
Does
people
that,
seem to
does that
like it.
make you grow hair on your head? Because I could use
Oh, I
some.
don't know. I have
Jesus.
no clue.
Somebody said to me, get a toupee. I go, yeah, I look like I got a Brillo on my head.
It doesn't have the formaldehyde. There's one that has formaldehyde. This one is all natural.
Oh, cool.
All
All
right, my friend, let's do it.
right. Okay. Um, go ahead, Linda. You got questions, right?
Oh, thank you guys for the questions.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I want to say something right off the top. I want to tell you guys that the lady that was killed at the Capitol, whose mother is suing the government, she's not going to get a dime. I saw that they will show the videos. They'll show that they warned her not to go through, because if she'd gotten through, other people would have jumped right behind her.
Well, she was an insurrectionist and she was
And
trying
we
to,
probably would have had dead Congress people.
that's right. So anyway, they won't win.
Anyway, I just wanted to say that. What are you feeling on it?
I
I'm
don't,
not feeling she'll win.
I don't feel,
Okay. All right.
Linda brought that up before the show, you all. So
Yeah, I just wanted everybody to know for sure that that's going to happen.
I guess
Okay.
before we get started, the question I think you read on this with Andre, if I'm not mistaken, but the whole thing with SCOTUS, there's two issues here. Number one, uh, the immunity. Trump is wanting them to say he's immune from prosecution.
Not going to go through.
I don't see that going through. Number two, the other thing was his name on the ballot, but I had predicted, and I want your input on it, that the court would find a way to step around that so they could put his name back on the ballot. I don't know what your
I see his name on the ballots.
okay.
So I guess the court says, yeah, they'll find some rinkety. In fact, even something that Kavanaugh wrote is going to come back to haunt him, because he said that shouldn't happen. But anyway, I see his name on the ballot, but don't worry, because I see him a loser. You almost want his name on the ballot, so people will stop pitching a fit. But he's going to be a loser with a capital L.
Well, in a way, it might be a good thing that they keep his name on the ballot. I'm going to tell you why. Because then that keeps the Republicans from doing something frivolous and saying, well, if you took Trump's name off the ballot, we're going to take Biden's name off the
Oh,
ballot.
they've already been saying that.
Oh, I know. So
Assholes. So anyway.
how do you really?
Okay. Harry Dunn is running for Congress. What do you see the chances of him winning? Now, Harry was the gentleman that was the police officer
Oh, that's right.
that was beaten up by the crowd.
I would say I just didn't recognize the name. I pick up he has got a really, really, really good chance of winning.
I felt that too. Can I just do a quick three
Oh,
card?
absolutely. Go ahead. Girlfriend,
Harry, are you going to win?
do whatever you want to do. Just don't moon everybody.
No, you don't want that.
I go to the doctor. He said, take your clothes off. The nurse and I need a good laugh.
It's a tough road. It's not going to be easy peasy, but he's got the 10 of cups, which means he'll win.
Good. The other thing I watched on one of the shows on one of the TV, which it wasn't that other network that none of us like, but they were doing a poll with younger voters, and a lot of them would say, we're not voting for Biden, because they were mad about whatever. And so people were asking if, what does that do for Trump's chances if they don't vote for Biden? My response was, if you don't vote for Biden, it's a vote for Trump.
Yeah.
But they didn't interview that many people, maybe 5 or 6. So
Well,
that's,
even the polls, they're saying they may interview 1,000 at the most.
well, on this one, they talked to maybe like 5 or 6 people,
Yeah.
young people. You can't really take it by that. But a lot of people got nervous about, will these young people vote? And if they do, will they vote Democratic? And I hear, yes, they will.
Well, more stuff is coming out about Trump that's going to really turn people's stomachs. And I see them saying, you know what, if you go the lesser of two evils, let's do Biden, but they kind of go in reluctantly. Jesus, Biden has forgiven all those student loans, and he's helped raise your money. He's helping the vets. Oh, did you see that the Congress and the Senate have come up with a money plan, but they're not going to touch Israel or the Ukraine. Right now, it's going to be when the repubes are out that we'll be able to help the Ukraine for sure.
But they're not going to give Ukraine money.
But they're going to give, and Biden's given a bunch of money for the border.
They're not giving money to
Still bitch.
Ukraine.
No, and they're not giving money to Israel either.
Well, here's the deal. Yeah, because they want to look good and they're trying to win political favor. That's why with the thing with Israel. But Ukraine, my guides kept telling me that even if they didn't give money to Ukraine, that there's some way or another Biden can
Oh
slip.
yeah, somebody told me 50 billion was coming in from Europe alone. So
And,
yeah,
and
don't
Japan
you
is
guys
giving
worry.
and Japan is giving them money too.
Yeah, Japan gave them $1 billion.
And I see them getting airplanes and all of that stuff and military help from other countries in Europe as well.
Okay.
So,
So is it my turn?
yes.
Now, this is an interesting question from Marie. Will there ever be help for victims to make it easier to clear their names / credit when they fall prey to identity theft?
Absolutely. I hear you.
Okay. Because, my brother-in-law was in a facility because he had mental disease. And someone stole his information and turned around and put in the IRS. So when my sister was expecting the money, they said, we already paid you. She said, no, you didn't. You don't know how many years she had and they did it the second year too. How many years she had to work to get the IRS to switch that out. I think there'll be more help.
I see more strict legislation coming through and a lot more protections to keep hackers from doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um,
That's why you want to have bad credit, so they're not interested.
yeah, right. Yeah, so when they try it, you get denied.
Yeah, denied.
Yeah, everybody just get bad credit. If everybody had really bad credit, that would stop a lot of this hacking. What do you think is going to be the outcome of this 7.8 million they found out that Trump got from foreign governments? And what bothers me about that, they don't say anything about Trump. Oh, that's okay, because it was against the emoluments clause. But yet they go after Hunter Biden because they said that he
borrowed money from his dad for a car. And the
Yeah.
payments he made to his dad, they're acting like it was some big scandal.
but yet he paid his taxes. And Trump didn't all these years and committed tax fraud, and they say nothing about that, the double standard.
Well, that's how it goes. Nobody should. They'll eventually make this an issue. I don't know if Trump will be around, but they're eventually. There's a lot of things that are going to take place after the fall of Trump and the new administration where they're going to put like a new rules. You can't do this, you can't do that.
Well, that's that Senate investigating committee or the House committee, but
well, they only got 7 million because the new guy that came into town was a Republican, right, and he stopped it.
Right, but
it's going to be more than that.
But there's a lot more. You're right, and you know what I said? There's going to be whistleblowers coming forward to say, "Oh no," and it's gonna be a lot more. And where was he getting a lot of that money from? China.
Yeah.
And that's going to come out. It was a lot more because he owes the Bank of China money. And that's going to come out too.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love it.
All right.
Okay. Debbie said, thank you, Mel and Linda. My question is, I keep hearing about a 3-day blackout. Is it going to happen?
The only way I could see a blackout happening is with some of these mega snowstorms I see coming to hit the East Coast. And there might be a blackout for a couple of days, but as far as a national blackout, I don't see it.
Okay. I don't see a blackout. And let me tell you something else, you guys. I don't see no World War III either.
I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people are nervous about what they've heard on,
Certain
certain shows
shows.
about World War III. And I just don't see it at all.
You know, we may have a World War III, but it's not in my immediate psychic intuition.
I think that there will be, I think this Ukraine thing was a litmus test, but I think what Putin is trying to do is get the old Soviet Union back, and he said that all those countries, and it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
That's why Ukraine has to fight, and Ukraine will not give up. This war is not over. But as far as World War III, I do not see that. I haven't seen it, and I want to tell everybody something, if it's okay. Einstein said, I don't know how the Third World War will be fought, but the fourth one will be fought with sticks and stones. So if we have a World War III, which I do not see, I don't think we'll be around to talk about it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't see it. I just don't.
I don't see it either. No destruction of the world. I'll tell you what our problem is natural disasters. We have some natural disasters coming in.
You know what? We're both on the same page, because what concerns me more than World War III is climate change. That's what we need to worry about.
Yeah.
I think that's more dangerous than World War III.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeanette Beetzenberger says, will Rudy be forced to pay Shay and Ruby Friedman? Good
Will
question.
who be forced?
Will Rudy Giuliani be forced to pay Shay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They will follow him to his grave.
And you know what? They're filing suit against him again.
Yeah, because he turned around and talked trash again.
I don't know if he would file for bankruptcy, if he would still have to pay them, but what I guess the court could seize his assets and whatever he has, force them to sell those and pay these people. That's what
Yeah.
All right.
This is from Klee Benov. Gas prices and DMV registration fees went up under Governor Brown in California, leaving in numbers to different states. Will Governor Newsom allow the EU to invest in California because of its natural resources? And will that help lower inflation? People are leaving big time out of California. Our gas prices, they okayed like a 20%. My gas bill was high. And they're asking for more money. And PG&E, what they're doing is they're making us pay for what they had to pay for starting those fires.
And that's all going to come out, by the way. And I see legislation coming to say that they can't price gouge customers to help pay for their lawsuits.
Right. And the other thing is people are price gouging, and they're claiming that because they're this and that, and it's all bull. They're just price gouging because they can.
Of course.
That's going to be something that's going to be stopped. And also my home insurance is going to go up 20%.
And I see that stop too.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff coming up, but it's real hard to live here, you guys. Yeah, sure. We're one of the top paid, even you're $15 an hour if you work at Burger King. But it's really hard to live here with it, and the rent price, although rent prices are going to go down this year.
Well, I see the Feds reducing the interest rates, and that's going to open more houses up, and that'll help bring the prices down on housing. But I hear a lot of people in California moving to Colorado. But what's going on now is becoming prohibitively expensive in Colorado.
My nephew said he hadn't even looked at Vinny. He hadn't even looked at the stock market, and his Google account went through the roof. He couldn't believe how much money he made.
Oh yeah, they do. Absolutely.
Of course, I hit him up for a loan ASAP.
Yeah, Vinny, send us some money. I don't, I don't know if the governor of California is going to let foreign governments come in and start investing in California's natural resources, because then what those companies could do is like, okay, invest in those resources, let's say, and then charge it back to the customer at an exorbitant sum. So I see legislation passed to prevent that.
Yeah. So what's your question?
Okay. Uh, uh, Edie Falta says, I have had flashes that Kamala Harris is nominated to DOJ or Supreme Court, and Amy Klobuchar will join Biden's ticket as VP. Do you see anything like this? See that.
Yeah.
How about you?
Tell me the question again.
I have had flashes that Kamala Harris is nominated to DOJ or the Supreme Court, and Amy Klobuchar will join Biden's ticket as VP. Do you see anything like this? No, I do not. Klobuchar is better to stay. She's in the Senate where because we need.
Yeah, and the other thing is, people wrote me while Biden was in office saying, who's he gonna pick for his VP? Like he would get rid of Kamala. No way would he do that. And God forbid if he didn't like her or he wanted to get rid of her, that he wouldn't win as president. People would be so angry at him.
Well, people, then the flip side of that is people say, yeah, but if Biden wins, we don't want Kamala. And I said, yes, but if something happened to her, then right now you're going to have the preacher that Johnson, who's going to wants to be the president, because after the vice president, Speaker of the House. So there you go. Okay.
Hey, I want to bring up real quick, people, somebody just now on this had complained about, I guess the commercials have gone up on my show. I have no idea because I pay like the $14.99 for the YouTube Red, I think it was called. So for all these years, I've never had to sit through a commercial on a YouTube.
I know what they're saying. I know what they mean. What they're saying is when they look at your channel, then YouTube is putting more commercials on there. So you can control the amount of commercials they put on your show. That, they're called mid-rolls. And so that's what they're talking about.
So later, can you tell me how to do that?
I'll tell you how to do it.
Okay. Like
Um,
have it either before the show or at the end of the show.
you have to wait till the end of the show to do it. And then I'll tell you how to do it.
Okay, all right.
All right. Let's see. Oh, it's your turn, Linda. I think.
Okay, Cynthia's Happy New Year to both of you. I'm an Aussie, but just wondering who you think Trump will pick as his VP. A former Republican strategist mentioned Katie Britt, but others think it might be J.D. Vance.
He'll probably pick some, MAGA goof.
I think it'll be a woman.
So do I. But hopefully it's somebody like, it won't be Sarah Palin, but somebody like that who's incredible.
Like the fuzzy, what's her name? We haven't even talked about her in so long. The one from Arizona, the
Oh.
one who swore she won.
Oh, a Lake. Well, no, was
Yeah, Carrie Lake.
but hopefully my point was hopefully it would be somebody who's incredibly dumb or stupid.
Yeah.
Whoever he picks is not, it's going to be like, really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I see it. All right.
Remember when poor McLean got Sarah Palin and she just made such an idiot. She was such a joke.
She thought Africa, she didn't know where, she didn't know it was a continent. I can see Russia from here.
From Florida. I mean, from Alaska. Yeah.
Okay. Mary Daniels says, is there more to the story of the Secretary of Defense not telling the president he was hospitalized? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you go to the hospital, they keep you, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think there was no wrongdoing or anything.
No, I don't feel that.
All right.
Um, Elena said there's a new law in Florida about financial disclosures that has a number of council members resigning immediately. Will this new law become nationwide? I
Um,
think any financial disclosure you should have. I
um,
even think they're trying to stop the Senate and the Congress from being able to purchase stock because they get the 411 before events happen, and that should be a given.
I see legislation coming that will say if you're in the House and the Senate, if you have knowledge of that, you can't purchase it. Uh,
Yeah,
and financial disclosure, I see is actually, if you're running for federal office, it'll become a law that they have to disclose finances.
yeah,
And a lot of that is a result of this whole Trump scandal.
right, right. Also, I want to tell you guys, what was it? That we were talking about financial disclosures. There was something important I wanted to tell you guys, and now I just went blank. Oh, well.
All right.
So, Barbara wants to know, will the permafrost melting cause a disaster for the Alaskan pipeline? I see them working on making sure it doesn't happen.
Oh, they'll put things in place to make sure. I do see a little leak, but it's not going to be anything significant as far as I can.
Yeah.
All right. I guess there's a question on here about that Biden wouldn't be president because of becoming ill, and they let's see. Hold on, give me a second. That Biden wouldn't be a president because of becoming ill. Um, and they just, I guess they want to know what we see about that. So I guess the question is, will Biden, some people are saying that Biden won't be president because he's going to get sick. Okay. I don't see that.
I don't see that. He may get sick 2 years into it, or tired, or not able to complete the whole 4 years, but I don't see that.
I don't even think that. I mean, he's only 3 years older than Trump, and people say, it's the political rhetoric that started when he was elected in 2020. That, oh, he goes like that, and they say, oh, he's like senile or something. He's not.
Yeah.
He's gathering his thoughts.
Yeah. He's getting old, but yeah. And listen, he didn't have to do this, you guys. He's 80 years old. What the hell is the motivation to have to do this? Except for the fact he's trying to save us, our democracy. He's doing what he can to save it. He will go down in history as a great man.
He's done a great job. I mean, the economy is good. I mean, everybody's nervous about it for what? It's really good. People ask me, this is a common question too. Well, is the economy going to go into inflation or recession in 2024? Neither. It's going to continue to grow.
Yeah. Oh, they were saying that when Biden got in. Oh, we're getting ready to have a big crash. No.
Didn't happen. You know, I think that the Republicans are thinking they're going to have another red wave, but it's not even going to be a pink trickle. I see us taking over the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Worst case
Well, there's a lot
scenario,
of trouble coming up for Trump.
worst case scenario, which I don't see, even if the Republicans won the presidency, we would control the House and the Senate. So there's nothing they could do.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you guys something. Years ago, when I first started if you look back in the beginning, I was telling you guys, besides that Trump wasn't going to win. And I remember saying, I saw a man with gray hair winning, being the president of the United States, a white man with gray hair with a dark haired woman as his VP. And at the time, I even thought, is it Bloomberg? Because Bloomberg was gray. Because remember in the beginning, Biden looked like a deer in the headlights when he was doing those debates. He was terrible.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he took off. And then sure enough, he's our president. So I also said, I see Republicans jumping ship like rats off a ship. And it's because of something that's happening with Trump. So this is what's happening is as soon as they get him on that insurrection, they're going to turn around and all those Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jim Jordan, all those people are going to get subpoenaed and they're going down too.
They're going down too. That's right. I remember when I first met you, and this is before anything came out about, well, they were doing the Russia thing, but did he win the election or not? But it goes before that. But I was talking to you once on the phone, and I always say this. You said to me, Mel, I had this flash or a dream. And I said, what? And you said, I saw Trump on television, and the headline said that you didn't say convicted, but you said that he was guilty of treason. And I was like, okay. And you told me, don't say anything. And I didn't. And look what's going on now, this
What's
insurrection.
going on now? That's amazing.
On.
Well, it's just when things like that, Pepe Le Pew getting kicked out of the NRA. Years ago, I said he was getting kicked out. I said, oh, I call him Pepe Le Pew. I said he really has done a lot of damage to the NRA. And so he will be going. But, either people remember what I said or they don't. Unfortunately, I'm not the type of person to have to go back and tell you, yeah, but sometimes I'll remember, but lots of times I don't. Somebody told me that I predicted the virus. I didn't remember, and she found it and she sent it to me. And I was at Angel Heart and I said, there's going to be a pretty significant virus hitting us. And I saw everybody in a mask. I didn't realize it was going to be Armageddon, but I did say it before it happened.
Yeah, I remember you saying that about treason. Back to P.P. Le Pew, as you call him.
Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew. No, I like
the skunk.
I know, P.P. Le Pew. Anyway, my psychic light bulb went on as you were talking, and I see a time coming, actually in the not so distant future, where the NRA and a lot of scandals coming out about them is going to end the strong influence they have in controlling our government. I see.
Well, the thing is they're going broke, so they can't make those fat payments to people to get them to vote their way.
But exactly, but also they're going to lose their power to lobby for, like they're lobbying right now for, like, oh, we want assault weapons, we want this, we want that. They're going to lose their influence, I'm telling you.
Yeah, and we don't care if you're mentally ill, we still want you to own a gun.
Right. Go figure. Okay, Beth says, hi, Mel and Linda. A few years ago, China raided the U.S. federal government's employees' personal information. Subsequently, China was accused of stealing U.S. technical secrets and research. Now, Trump probably gave it to them, but anyway.
Yeah.
Now they are rumored to be collecting financial information through Chinese websites. What kind of a threat does China pose in the next 10 years? And is the U.S. doing enough to prevent a financial collapse if China decides to use all of the information it has collected against us in an act of war? Well, I don't see an act of war.
I don't see an act of war. I'm almost seeing that guy that's in charge of China now, especially when Biden takes over again, I see them relaxing a little bit, not getting in there. They really want Taiwan, but I don't see him being able to accomplish it. And the other thing is, don't forget the end of Putin is going to change a lot of things.
I think they'll know better than to go into Taiwan because they'll learn a lesson from what Putin did in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Putin bit off a doo-doo sandwich with that. And, just because he's, there's all these increased missile attacks, and where's he getting those missiles? From North Korea. But I see Kim Jong-un gone too at some point.
And the other thing, did you hear the woman who was a big reporter be like a Fox News, a female reporter that loved Trump? Her and her husband were found poisoned to death in their beds, and that's a Putin sign.
Oh,
Putin
yeah.
had them killed.
Yeah, Putin did that, and he's going to say it was his adversaries. But Putin, poisoning is Putin's thing.
That's how he rolls.
Or they push him out a first floor window. That's my joke.
Auntie Mel and Lady Linda. Will the addition of Georgia, Sweden, and Finland to the EU and NATO effectively silence Putin and Russia?
I'm sorry, read again.
Will the addition of Georgia, Sweden, and Finland to the EU and NATO effectively silence Putin?
It won't silence Putin, but right now he's hopping angry about it because
Yeah.
Putin wanted to weaken NATO because if he thought he could take over Ukraine, then he could go into Latvia with Lithuania and Estonia and Sweden and those countries. I think they are NATO, but then those other countries that weren't, he thought that, he could just take them over. But with NATO in place, that puts up a huge barrier against Putin. And that's why he didn't want those countries in NATO. And remember when he said if they joined NATO, he would use nuclear weapons? Well, they joined and he hasn't. So,
Wow.
and you had said he would never use nuclear weapons, as did I.
No, the thing is, fortunately, Putin wants Russia to still be standing.
Right. And he knows
And
nuclear war, nobody wins, everybody dies.
that's it. If North Korea, and that's the one thing I liked about Trump, and I'll say that, I'm sorry, you guys, was when the North Korean Kim Jong-un started to challenge the United States and they were going to do this and that. What did Trump do? He said, come on, Rocket Boy.
Oh, Rocket Man, yeah.
Or Rocket Man, give it your best, because guess what? We got, so much, when you won't even be standing anymore. And all of a sudden, see, he called out the bully, and then all of a sudden the bully wants to be friends.
Well, but you got to be careful with that too, because now the bully is friendly with Putin. And Russia does have nuclear arms, however, and I think Russia has given nuclear secrets to North Korea about how to use ballistic missiles.
Well, they got all their secrets from Trump.
Where do you think North Korea got that technology to put warheads on missiles? Part of that came through the Soviet Union. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, through Putin, and part of it came from stuff Trump had given them.
Well, I'm going to tell you that he called out a bully and the bully stood down. Okay. Putin is not going to do anything to create, although they are sending soldiers to Syria right now. But they start messing with the United States, we won't put up with it. But I don't see nukes. It may be missiles, and we've shot a lot of the Iranian Air Force out of the air.
Putin doesn't have enough troops to fight a war on that many. He just doesn't.
Look how his whole army just collapsed when they went into the Ukraine.
I guess here's another question about China again. It's asking, oh, here it is. They're collecting financial information on us through Chinese websites, and they're fearful that China will use that to cause an economic collapse in the United States. And the answer to that is they won't cause an economic collapse here, because if we collapse here, they'll collapse.
They collapse.
So I don't see that.
Also, did you see anything on that Florida? Somebody sent it to me with these 9 feet UFO ET guys, and there was a shooting in Texas. And it's a big scandal.
I didn't hear anything about.
And people are going crazy about it. And I got to tell you, I'm on the fence. I have no clue, none whatsoever.
About what, the UFO thing?
Yeah, I'm almost leaning more towards, I don't know. It just feels like it's a spoof.
Bogus to me. It doesn't feel like I'm not picking up anything.
Yeah.
The Heart of Spirit asks, happy Monday. Hey, happy Monday. I am curious to know what the behind the scenes looks like for Jessica Tarlov and her Fox co-workers, because Jessica Tarlov is a Democrat and she works for Fox News. I'm sure I'm sure she's friendly with a few people there, but she can hold her ground. But I'm sure that behind the scenes, she probably gets a lot of cold shoulders.
Yeah. She does call a spade a spade. She tells people what's up. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. And I told this someplace we were doing a gig. And I said, do you know that Abraham Lincoln, who, by the way, Trump said, I would have made it. He does the accordion. I would have made a deal. I would have made a deal. And then Lincoln wouldn't have been famous. And it was so funny when Trump went in office, he said, "Did you guys know Lincoln was a Republican?" It's like everybody knew that, but he was all like, "Did you guys know?" Yeah, we knew.
Like, I can see Alaska from here.
Oh, and then when he was giving that speech and talking about the, when the bombs and all that, when we made this country and at the airports, it's like there was no airports. There was no flying vehicle. Anyway,
Linda,
Lincoln got a gift that he loved. It was some sort of elephant statue.
I'm sorry.
Lincoln got an elephant statue that he really liked. And he went to Congress to ask if he could keep that because you're not allowed, unlike Trump. And they told him no.
Yeah, but Trump got 7.8 million. Wonder how big his.
More than that.
I know it's more than that they've it's going to go into millions and millions and millions.
Oh yeah.
But Linda, I got to say something. That was a really good imitation of Trump. You got to go on Saturday Night Live with that. What you just did with Trump when you
Oh yeah, that he's always playing the accordion.
No, I know, but you did a great job with that. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay. Here, Crazy Shark asked, do you see Joe Biden stepping down due to health issues right before the election or afterwards?
No.
No, I do not.
You
He's
can ask me
healthy.
until the cows come home and I'm going to say no.
See, people are buying into this rhetoric again, like I remember in 2020 on the tabloids, Biden is sick, Biden's got dementia, blah, blah, blah. And people are buying into that rhetoric again because it's misinformation. Biden is probably 100 times healthier than Trump.
I know. Trump can't ride a bike.
Right.
Plus he'd squeeze all that crap up in there in his diety.
Uh,
Okay, this is a good one. Hilda.
Wait, I got to catch my composure on that.
I'm wondering if Lauren Boebert will be charged with the assault charges and lying to the police that she didn't punch Jason, her ex-husband. Ex-husband isn't filing charges, but police are still investigating and viewing the restaurant videos.
At some point, she will be charged. I see.
That's what, yeah. And her jail picture, she's over there smirking. I'm telling you, this gal, her days are done, you guys. She's not going to win. She's not going to win. I don't care if she moves to Mississippi. She is not going to win.
Not going to win. Oh, good. So we can say goodbye to her.
We can say goodbye.
She's living proof that some human beings really did evolve from earthworms.
Yeah.
It's an insult to an earthworm. Okay. Let's see. This is a good one. Leah Omega says, will there be assets or funding available for nonprofit programs to help integrate our new immigrant community? Can we do things better with Joe Biden in office? I do see
him getting a real good program going. Yeah.
There's a migrant family living under a bridge over here. They've got like the front of it. It's got like, I don't know, they got a tarp up and everything. And my cousin Lisa and I, we take food over there to them. We've been over there 3 or 4 times and we talked to them, and they were one of those people that got caught up crossing the border and were sent here and they have nowhere to go. And so
they like to work.
But they can't, they don't have a social security number, but they're looking for cash jobs and this and that. And so we take them food, and I think there's like 10 of them living there. I'd like to bring them to my house, but I don't have room for 10 people.
I know. Somebody said, Maria, maybe you understand what she's asking. I know you probably won't answer this for obvious reasons, which I have no clue. However, I would still like to ask, what will be the outcome of South Africa taking Israel to the ICJ? What's the ICJ?
I don't know what the ICJ is.
Yeah, Maria, we wish you could answer.
Yes,
but by the way, they are marching in thousands and thousands in Israel because they want Netanyahu down.
Well, Netanyahu is just keeps this war in Gaza going. I mean, he's already got it won. I mean, it was terrible what Hamas did, but Netanyahu keeps going with it because it's wagged the dog. It diverts, he's thinking it's diverting everybody's attention away from, and it is, them coming after him for all the criminal crap that he's committed. But
Exactly.
it's going to bite him. You're right. It's going to get him.
Right. Right.
Okay. Um, Alicia Stanley says, during the Trump administration, 45 and Pompeo did run around the Congress in order to sell weapons to the Saudis that America had never been willing to do, and that he and Pompeo knew Congress would never let them sell to the Saudis. Uh, as let's see, as of the end of his administration, I read the Saudis had not yet paid for those weapons. My question is, did the Saudis ever pay our government for the weapons? No, they did not.
No, no.
And two, did they pay Trump personally, or is that what the $2 billion they paid Kushner for at the end of the administration was about?
I feel Trump gave him intel,
He
and
did.
that's what they paid him for.
You know, when you said that,
Not Trump, Kushner. Yeah.
when you said that, my psychic light bulb went on, and I
Mhm.
keep seeing whistleblowers coming forward to say what intel was given to them.
Yeah.
There'll
Yeah.
be whistleblowers, and that's going to be another scandal. But then Trump will say, "Oh, I didn't do it. It was uh, your imitation is better than mine, Linda." There you go. All right, go ahead, Linda.
Um, is China, this is from Mrs. Is China waiting in the wings for Russia to weaken itself with the Ukraine war enough to be conquered by China? No,
No,
no.
uh, I do
So
think,
one more question?
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
No, you gotta
Oh,
give it to me.
oh, oh. Okay, Jitterbug Tutu. I love that name. She's always on.
Jitterbug.
Every time I hear that name, I've got to say how much I love it. It's so cute. Okay. Hello, Miss Beautiful Linda and Auntie Mel. Will our democracy be in jeopardy ever again? Yeah, if Trump wins, we can kiss it goodbye. But
Yeah,
the question is, will there be another thug? Will there be another thug like in office? And will there be more specific laws that prevent people like the thug to run for office? You both rock. Thank you. So I see a lot of legislation coming in to prevent a lot of the things that Trump pulled and a better vetting of our candidates. But it's a good question, Jitterbug, because I think we took our democracy for granted, and historians have said it was an experiment. And a lot of people just took it for granted, and we came precariously close to losing our democracy. And
yeah,
we're not out of the woods yet.
no.
And so,
It's kind of sad how people just say, let it burn.
right, it is. And so our democracy to a degree is still in jeopardy. It's just up to us to get out there and vote to make sure that we don't lose it.
Okay.
So that's what my guides told me to say just now. So that's a great question, Jitterbug. I think what she means, though, is after Trump is gone, will there be another rogue president? And I see legislation put in place to prevent that, is what I see.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
that's the truth.
all right. Do you want to do one more or no? About here
Well, the Jody wrote and said, how do you speak to your higher self?
every moment, every day.
Well, you kind of got to, it's like praying. You kind of got to get out of your own way. You have to allow them to answer you back. Don't be desperately listening or thinking, oh, is that them? Is that them?
Right.
So,
It's just about breathing and listening and stepping out of the analysis paralysis.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay, one more. Kim, Harry Dunn is running for Congress. What do you see his
We
chance?
already answered that.
We did. Okay, good. All right. All righty. Anything else real quick?
No, but thank you. I got a bunch of stuff to do today.
Me too. I got a zillion things. All right, Linda, it's always fun.
It's fun.
Next week, your channel.
Yes, thank you.
And keep that top and send me
I
one.
will. I'll keep it. You like it. That's one of your favorite tops.
I do like it. All right.
Bye.
Bye.